I want y'all to look at this. Now, my floor isn't all that dirty. It's not perfect, but I noticed that I'm going to have to mop. But I got all that dirt. It's funny, too, how all these... Wonder what this means. Yeah, no stability. I heard that from some of them road spirits warning me. Oh, wow. I'll drop in that video that I plan on dropping. Anyways, I got into the tub. Look at how much dirt I had on my feet. That's crazy. Manipulated and intimidated by some very, very evil entities in the spirit plane, including by Maria Tavares. I saw the Dubbock she was with and all of that, and, you know, it's coming from these people here. One of them, I think, that went to a spirit reader to put this shit on me, really, is an Estevez. You know, I may upload a video I did on it in the future. And I think her highest self's name is Lorenzo or something. I wish I would have talked about this before, you know, May the 1st, 2024. You know, because I have a good reason to believe I'm not fully in the world. Because this is from what I understand, that wetback bitch targeted me because of the color of my skin. And she didn't go after the other people who was equally doing evil shit on the PCH, white people, and, you know, wetbacks as well because of the color of their skin. There's some racist motherfuckers. And I did a video talking about that. I was told don't do it because she somehow got hold of my consciousness. I know I sound unwell. I use it to fuck me up and fuck with me, but, you know, like I tell these motherfuckers, y'all got to take back control, and, you know, I need a real inner spiritual team that can protect me. I can't work with this shit, you know, where I'm being told, you know, don't say anything, don't do videos, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. And keep, you know, I have to do, I'm going to have to get some Reiki done on my spirit body and all of that, but that's, you know, some evil shit. Yeah, I had somebody on the PCH, and Barbara, David Rayner, somebody who downloaded sacrifice angels into my crown chakra. I know that their timeline is very, very real, because when I called on his God self from the past, and when he showed up into the present, he turned into a demonic Dubbock a demon. And, in recent dreams, I've had both of my parents, going back to that August the 22nd, 2022 timeline, from what I know, this have a demonic energy coming off of them, meaning that that timeline is real and that they did in fact die in their sleep. They told me, I think, August or July the 23rd, 2023, and they've been since stuck in hell realms at Maria Tavares. I've seen the Illuminati in them timelines. They use 1248 hertz frequency. That's the hand of God to deliver them, and if I had my spirit body intact, I would be crying. It's too much trauma and pain that I'm dealing with this shit spiritually, and it's real. Like I said, his God self appeared as a demon instead of what he was, like a dumb mechanical demon. So they're not well, so try to use 3517 hertz to put them back together, 3571 hertz, 117 hertz combined with 800 hertz to put them back together. Even though I get fucked with by these entities, I may just play those frequencies. It doesn't help to have Maria Tavares and all this evil shit operating in my consciousness, along with Billy Bailey bearing Samity and his high self, Don Tolliver, who supplanted and replaced my father as my connection to my Godhead, which he formerly was when I was under his curse. I'm putting their names out there because of survivability. I'm going to say this right now. He got rid of, because from what I saw, he wanted me as a sacrifice after I dropped his name. It fucked him up, which was deserved because of what I'm going through. He wanted me as a sacrifice along with his highest self. And he wanted to feed off of me. From what I was told, my highest self saw and all of that, it was just the most abysmal, horrible thing. And I hope not to end up in the hell realm tomorrow, where I think I'm in the world of the living, but I'm not. Kind of like what I heard happened to Wendy Williams and what's the other woman? Black China. With that being said, she's trying to put me into her Santa Muerte realm, and the problem, I actually had Santa Muerte talk about exonerating me, but she's not supposed to have the final say. As I saw at the beginning of this curse, she was the one that helped me out a lot, but she's a thought form that's connected to the Mexican oversoul consciousness, which is Maria Tavares manipulate, that could be used to keep you stuck in hell realms. And so, that has to connect to your highest self to have any meet to them, or your higher selves. It's not like a Baron Samedi or Yamaya or Oshun who can act as your highest self on their own. With that being said, the problem is she acted as judge, jury, and executioner using her connection to Santa Muerte. And so I keep hearing that something bad is going to happen to me. I kept hearing 2 weeks ago that I was going to end up dead in my sleep. Again, I'm not supposed to die until the age of 86. Hopefully nobody, manipulates or tries to. With that being said, I'm just going to say it like this. Pray for me. I wish I would have been forthright at the beginning of this curse with everything, because it could have saved my parents in that timeline. And it's fucked up too. I was shown that they get severed and cut up every single day. I was shown the Illuminati or Dan Arsenica acting. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it's something incredibly fucking evil that I got over my ass. But that timeline is real. I'm going to say this right now. When my father's God self worked to try to separate me from all of that and put our timelines back together properly, I was able to get mine back and he had his back. I was in the astral plane. It was showing squiggly lines, so I'm not in the world of the living, and I have evil entities and sadistic shit. Bailey Baron Samedi, Don Tolliver, this Maria Tavares at my heels trying to artificially kill me off. It should be that old beanbag bitch that should be fucking dead, not me. With that being said, going back to the August the 22nd, 2022 timeline in my higher selves, along with this entity here, I don't know if it's still true. I'm emoting right now because of all the spiritual shit that I'm fucking facing. You know, the shit that likes to fuck with you and control what you say. And I'm trying not to go back to that. You know, I feel as, you know, if I was a lot more emotive, a lot more freer with my speech, you know, this shit would have never gotten as bad as it has. With that being said, I want to talk about something that I've experienced in the spirit plane and something that I saw your boy here in Bibbin.
Vamos falar um pouco sobre o que significa vazio e mente vazia. Vazio em si.
So you sacrifice, that's why you're doing this video, and just all evil shit. It's like you know, if you want to extricate the wetback bitch, just, you know, why torment me by making me aware and getting me, you know, full on in my body, you know, aware of what the fuck is going on, and handle it. Do your job and handle it. And my spirit guides weren't doing that. From what I understand at the onset of this curse, I saw on the spirit plane soul swapping, energy harvesting, and something else is on the tip of my tongue. I saw soul swapping, energy harvesting, and then sacrificing. With Maria Tavares, I saw death curse and then sacrifice. You know, so I got to do something to get all this evil shit and evil people off. Anyways, I saw something online where, you know, I really wanted to do an article talking about Kanye West and that Adidas thing, you know, showing that them people own his money. Because of Maria Paraffin, or Tavares, I couldn't do it. You know, I couldn't consummate the article. You know, with that being said, you know, I want to go ahead and talk about you're talking about removing a, you know, crucial part of my consciousness tonight. And that bitch is fucking with it right now as I talk. You know, that's supposed to be the job of my spirit guide. Anyways, I saw something online about black goo. I saw him and Bibbin black goo, and I'm going to say something right now. You know, it's kind of like, you know, what I wanted to talk about on my blog, you know, about Beyonce and all of that, the Illuminati, you know, with the Adidas deal, because he got soul swapped. And because his situation was a soul swapping affair, they gave him $1 billion. You know, he ain't really making all that money to begin with, you know, kind of like how they kidnap people for, I heard that just like that film Hostel, there's places called Gitas where the Illuminati sets it up for, you know, usually it's comprised of, Kathy O'Brien in conspiracy church circles talked about this. Where they throw you off the freedom train. It's places where it's just like the film Hostel. You can go and rape and torture people, and they murder MK Ultra victims there, throw them off the freedom trail by slaughtering them, cutting them up and all of that. Kind of like what's happening to my parents in that August 22nd, 2022 timeline. And with that being said, fuck me right now as I'm trying to get back to normal with this evil shit, this wetback bitch Maria Tavares. With that being said, as I was saying before, consciousness is all fucked up. You have places all around the world where you can go and rape and torture people. But anyways, the reason why I brought that up is because with Beyonce, from what I learned in the spirit plane, all she has to do, instead of going through the rituals like what Angelina Jolie went through.
It's like I would film things like that, or I would encourage like everybody, all different types of sexual, but there is that thing where it's like a lot of people misunderstand me with S&M and they think it's super, and I have to like explain to people how, like, where it's more like you're tied down because you need to like be able to like have somebody hold you down and keep you still, or like keep you in fights and have something down, or like be able to heal once you're beaten, like, or something. It's like it comes from that real place of like, you know, as opposed to being accessories or something. It's like with tattoos and things. Like I've always gotten them. There's like that time where everybody's like, "Oh, I have tattoos," and after a while, you're like, you can explain them and they can easy. And it's just comes from that real place. Yeah, I don't know. I only saw that film she brought over that night. People more like darker, like.
You know, she got raped by Jay-Z one night, Sean Corey Carter, 694 Hertz, 695 Hertz to C, when they held her up in the record studio. You know, it was about exerting power, and I believe some type of Illuminati initiation, I sense. With that being said, in the case of Beyonce, she just has to forego it by paying $6 million. I mean, by paying all of her money, her gross money to him. And she only gets a lot of $6 million. That's why she stuck to Jay-Z like glue. There ain't no crazy in love going on. With that being said, a lot of these people know about the spirit plane. And, you know, it's very similar, and it reminds me of what Eminem wanted to reveal about the black sun that lives in the earth. That's the derivation and juxtaposition of the in the astral plane as well as in the spirit plane. It's the black sun is actually the ultraviolet sun, you know, and as they say, black contains all the colors of the rainbow. And that's really the case with, I feel some just put, evil ass things are using, you know, as I'm trying to fucking free myself from this shit, they're using entity attachments to intimidate me and all of that. You know, and I'm not even talking about that shit. I'm just talking normal shit like I used to. I'm taking red screwdriver or something, and I got to get this shit out. So with that being said, got all this evil shit taking advantage of me, being stuck down to my soul consciousness. Shit gonna move around just the minute you feel something or think something. You can't help that if you're operating at the soul consciousness. It's dangerous, and that's where I've been for months. Because there's this entity here. The reason why they killed Eminem in 2006 is because Eminem found out that the elites planned on killing off people and placing people and living underground and having people converted into clones. I don't know what they're going to do with our spirit bodies, or what aliens call our spiritual containers and all of that. That's what they call our physical bodies. What they're going to do with our soul matrices. But anyways, You know, black goo is something, it's part of the primordial darkness that composes us. And the Aras Goetia are aspects of that. You know, they're the 72 inner demons that we have, along with the Baphomet. You know, without the primordial darkness, you know, it's like, I mean, there's even research now coming out that we come from a black hole. I believe the movie that came out in 1985 called Legend talked about how there was darkness before there was light. You know, especially, you know, we all have the primordial darkness within us. And that's what's used to compose us and make us physical. You hear a lot of Afrocentrics talk about carbon and how we, you know, I found out during this curse, we resonate, we vibrate at carbon, not vibrate carbon, but in carbon is 6 neutrons, 6 protons, and 6 electrons. But mind you, I'm being fucked with and haunted by evil shit here. That Maria Tavares, namely. With that being said, those evil ass shit. With that being said, we vibrate at the, you know, let's where it come from it. We vibrate, not vibrate, but we need the carbon to give us material existence, to give us life, to give us feet to stand on a foundation. You know, there was more I wanted to say, more I wanted to go in depth, but I keep having these evil things fuck with my entity attachments. And so I'm going to try to make this short. You know, I'm not going to let this evil shit intimidate me from teaching like I used to and like I want to get back to doing. You know, I was told, you know, my true higher selves, or the motherfuckers that put this curse on me, are going to take over and a couple of days ago fuck up everything. 694 hertz, 695 hertz to C. 1715, 1714 hertz to get shit back, along with 295 hertz, or 295 hertz combined with 695 hertz. I got shit playing with my mind right now, throwing out deceptive shit. I'm sorry. You know, if I seem schizophrenic, I'm under serious debt curse by that Maria Tavares and said I got soul swab. This is just evil. Those evil malignant shit. Evil ass wetback bitch. But anyways, carbon, you know, the primordial darkness, which carbon is composed of, gives us life. Let me try to think what I want. All right, with that being said, it gives us physical form. It's what it's the very thing that created our essence, gives us life. In the spirit plane, got this evil shit intimidating me. So I was able to get some of my shit back in the spirit plane today, earlier this morning. Use 695, 694 hertz to see. And it was crucial parts of me too, you know, the evil shit taken from my body. And I feel that evil shit placing entity attachments on me too as I speak. with that being said, carbon is the basis for our existence. It's what gives us life. It's from where the primordial darkness comes from. It is the primordial darkness. Right, I'm trying to fucking recover from having this evil ass shit fuck with me. It's fucking with me bad, really fucking bad. Like it used to back in the day during the, when I was staying at that shelter, especially during the early days of this curse. Anyways, with that being said, the primordial darkness, it's who you are. It's a part of your identity. You need bad and good. It's part of living in the material realm, and it's more than bad and good. It's dark. It's what the Jews call chutzpah. It gives your physical. It gives your physicality its existence. A lot of your inner etheric walls, I've, like for instance, I've seen black goo. There was something else I wanted to say, but I've seen etheric walls that look like reds. I've seen like a whatchamacallit going all the way up to the top. Not a straw, but it's something else. It just wants me to be a fucking invalid, sitting in fucking bed all day. By saying this, but another reason, going back to that Maria Paraffin or Tavares situation, it's some people at this Botanica here at 8704 Broadway, Los Angeles, California 90003 put something on me. A Dubik by the name of Dan Arcienega that's associated with this guy here, but I'm gonna say something. You get impressed by my spirit team and by them and the evil people who are my higher selves in that August the 22nd, 2022 timeline. Not to say anything, but I got an Ingrid Hybrid and some wetbacks. But anyways, it's San Miguel Botanica, and they're by 87 in Broadway in South Central. I saw her in the spirit plane taking a lot of my shit, my consciousness, taking me all the way up almost to the point of death. I try to use 295 hertz, combined with 695 hertz to get my shit back, 1714 hertz, 1715 hertz. This bitch done parasically almost become my fucking higher to highest self. She's been doing shit to get rid of my connection to my father, who died in that timeline, where I got soul swapped. With that being said, they did something to get rid of him in my soul consciousness, so I couldn't contact God in him. I would have to go through Baron Samedi, who's crooked as hell, his God, his higher self, fucking demon, to get anything done, and I refuse to go through with that. You can use 695 hertz to see what's going on. And he got compromised, from what I understand, at the soul consciousness level heavily by this Paraffin Maria Tavares. You know, there's a lot of tricky, evil shit going on with all this stuff I got around me. With that being said, my father in the spirit plane, you know, I was trying to remember what I needed to say. Some keeps intimidating me, that Maria Tavares, mainly from posting this. That August 22nd, 2022 timeline is real. And when my father was trying to set me up, again, something happened on me first. I saw the Grim Reaper's reflection and all of that, to where I'm not in the land of the living. With that being said, my father, his God self, saw that when he removed my timelines from Mikey Hernandez's here,